Tutankhamun, the boy pharaoh who became an icon of ancient Egypt. Introduction. Tutankhamun, often called King Tut, is one of the most famous pharaohs of ancient Egypt. Though his reign was relatively short and unremarkable in terms of military conquests or grand architectural projects, his name became legendary after the discovery of his nearly intact tomb in 1922. The breathtaking treasures found within his tomb gave historians and archaeologists an unparalleled insight into the riches and mysteries of ancient Egypt. But who was Tutankhamun, and why does his story continue to fascinate people over 3,000 years after his death? Let's explore the life, reign, death, and legacy of this enigmatic young ruler. The early life of Tutankhamun. 1. Birth and family background. Tutankhamun was born around 1341 BCE during Egypt's 18th dynasty, a period of great power and turmoil. His father was likely Pharaoh Akhenaten, the controversial ruler who tried to replace Egypt's traditional polytheistic religion with the worship of a single god, the Aten, the sun disk. His mother is believed to have been one of Akhenaten's secondary wives, possibly Queen Kia. Some scholars suggest that Tutankhamun's mother might have been Akhenaten's sister, which would explain his genetic health problems. 2. Childhood in Amarna. Tutankhamun may have spent his early years in Amarna, the city built by Akhenaten as the religious center for the worship of Aten. After Akhenaten's death, Egypt fell into chaos as his monotheistic revolution collapsed, and traditional priests and nobles worked to restore the old gods. Tutankhamun's reign, a return to tradition. Becoming pharaoh at a young age, at just 9 years old, Tutankhamun became pharaoh of Egypt around 1332 BCE. Because of his young age, he was heavily influenced by powerful advisors, including a high-ranking official who later became pharaoh, Horemheb, a military general who would also later take the throne. Tutankhamun married his half-sister, Akhenaten, who was the daughter of Akhenaten and Nefertiti. The marriage helped solidify his royal legitimacy. 2. Restoring Egypt's religion. One of Tutankhamun's most important acts as pharaoh was restoring the old gods of Egypt. Under his rule, Amun-Ra was reinstated as the chief deity. Temples destroyed under Akhenaten were rebuilt. Priests of Amun regained power and influence. The royal capital moved from Amarna back to Thebes. To emphasize this return to tradition, the young king changed his name from Tutankhaten, living image of Aten, to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun. 3. Political and economic policies. While Tutankhamun's reign lasted only about 10 years, he oversaw efforts to rebuild Egypt's temples and monuments, restore diplomatic relations with other kingdoms, revive the Egyptian economy, which had suffered under Akhenaten. There is little evidence that Tutankhamun led any major military campaigns, as he was still very young. His general, Horemheb, likely managed Egypt's military affairs during this period. 3. Mysterious death and the end of a dynasty. 1. How did Tutankhamun die? Tutankhamun died around 1323 BCE at the young age of 18 or 19. The exact cause of his death remains a mystery, with several theories proposed. Accident theory. CT scans suggest he may have suffered a severe fracture in his left leg, which could have led to an infection. Genetic weakness. DNA studies indicate he suffered from malaria and congenital health problems, possibly due to inbreeding. Murder theory. Some speculate that he may have been poisoned or assassinated, though no concrete evidence supports this theory. Murder 2. His burial and the famous tomb. Tutankhamun was buried in KV 62, a small and hastily prepared tomb in the Valley of the Kings. This suggests his death was unexpected, and a grander tomb may have been planned but never completed. Because his tomb was quickly sealed and forgotten, it remained largely undisturbed for over 3,000 years, unlike many other pharaohs' tombs that were looted in antiquity. 3. The aftermath. Who took the throne? After Tutankhamun's death, Egypt faced political uncertainty. A. His advisor took the throne, marrying Akhenaten. Horemheb, his general, later overthrew A and erased Tutankhamun's name from records. Tutankhamun's name was almost lost to history, but fate had other plans. I-4. The discovery that changed history. Tutankhamun's tomb. 1. Howard Carter's historic discovery, 1922. On November 4th, 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered the entrance to Tutankhamun's tomb. When he opened it, he famously described seeing wonderful things, a treasure trove untouched for millennia. Shana 2. The incredible treasures. Tutankhamun's tomb contained over 5,000 artifacts, including a solid gold coffin weighing over 110 kilograms, 240 pounds, the world-famous golden death mask inlaid with lapis lazuli, turquoise, and quartz, exquisite jewelry, weapons, and furniture, a chariot, board games, and even mummified food offerings for the afterlife. 3. The Curse of the Pharaohs. Soon after the tomb's discovery, rumors spread about a curse of the Pharaohs. Several people involved in the excavation, including Lord Carnarvon, Carter's financial backer, died mysteriously, fueling legends that the tomb was guarded by an ancient curse. V. Tutankhamun's enduring legacy. 1. A symbol of ancient Egypt. His golden mask remains one of the most iconic images of ancient Egyptian culture. 2. A scientific wonder. Modern research on his mummy has revealed valuable insights into ancient Egyptian medicine, genetics, and burial practices. 3. A global fascination. Tutankhamun's artifacts continue to draw millions of visitors to museums worldwide, and his story is frequently adapted in documentaries, books, and films. Conclusion. The boy king who became immortal. Tutankhamun's life was short, his reign was brief, and his historical impact was limited, but his tomb made him immortal. The undisturbed beauty of his burial chamber provided an unprecedented look into the splendor of ancient Egypt. Though he was nearly erased from history, his rediscovery turned him into one of the most famous figures of all time. Today, Tutankhamun remains a symbol of mystery, wealth, and the timeless allure of Egypt's golden age. The boy pharaoh who lives forever.